Michelle shared an email with me that she received today, and it really pissed me off. It did. But this was only after the day started taking a turn for the worse. And I don't know if you've ever had one of those days where everything continuously gets worse and progressively worse, or maybe it didn't. Maybe everything was fine, and after your mood was changed, the only thing you could see was red. This morning started off great. And I think the best part about it was we had set a time. It was 9 a.m. Central Standard Time that we were going to have our first interactive live chat, which was really cool. And for those watching who are members on Patreon who were a part of the live chat, thank you guys for joining us. And it was a pleasure to meet and talk to you. And we're looking forward to doing it again. As well as all the new members who have signed up since then. We will send updates on Patreon for the next live chat. And feel free to message us directly on there with your requests for whether it be a weekday or weekend or morning or afternoon or evening, or it doesn't matter. You're ready whenever. We're going to try to work it around a lot of people's schedules so that everybody can have an opportunity to be a part of it. And within this live chat, we learned a lot about each other. We also had the ability and opportunity to just talk as real people, which I realized that, even said it today, but I realized that not everybody will talk to you. Very few will talk to you, even less will actually listen to you. And I actually had this complaint, sort of, when I was in the corporate America role. And yes, I'm sitting in my car this evening talking to you guys because as I was walking out to go to my normal evening recording spot, it started pouring down raining. And I was like, well, I'm not going to run through the rain. So I just went to the car, and now here I am. I just finished packing, and we're going to leave super early in the morning to head over to Tampa. So that'll be fun. Now, when I was in the corporate world, people would always say, hey, how's it going? Like, they'd literally call you on the phone. Hey, how are you doing? How's your day? And I would purposely say ridiculous answers or provide like an awkward pause and not answer. And typically, whatever answer I provided or didn't, with no answer, the conversation would progress without actually getting an answer about how my day was going. Oftentimes I would say, do you even really care how my day is going? Or is this just a formality to be cordial and polite when in all actuality you're not? You're just kind of doing what you're supposed to do, to function in society. But again, very few people will talk to you, and even less will listen. A lot of people can hear you, but they ain't listening to you. And I've proven that. I've proven that time and time again on this platform with different videos, topics, discussions, titles, and thumbnails. I've proven it to myself. Maybe I should have been a psychology major, but I digress. But when you got somebody who actually talks to you and actually listens to you, don't let go of that. Don't let go of that. That's rare. And I think it's going to be very valuable. Now, a lot of people don't want to talk. And that's tough because it's hard for people to really effectively listen if you only provide small talk and say things that they want to hear. But I think that with what we are about to experience here and the challenges that many are going to face, economically challenging situations, financially challenging situations, I hope that you guys have someone to talk to, and I hope that they are listening. Hopefully, it's not going to be that bad. But if it is, it could potentially be worse than ever before, as we are in a recession, the money's drying up, and this potential threat of like a $1.7 trillion commercial corporate bank mortgage default kind of got me a little bit concerned. I've covered this in other videos, but YouTube doesn't really promote my videos anymore, so you probably never saw it. But either way, it's neither here nor there. If you guys do want to discuss money, finance, economy, savings, investing, debt, eliminating debt, leveraging debt, building multiple income streams, passive income streams, stocks, crypto, real estate, whatever it may be, hit me up. Links in the description down below. If you want to know how to get your Facebook money, there's a community post. Click the community tab. I put all the information over there on that tab for you guys to find it easily. But either way, Michelle, she went out and she started finalizing whatever she needed to finalize for our trip. And she sends me a picture of police blocking off the road, which was fine because it didn't block off where she needed to go, but it was right there. And she took the picture. And that was kind of odd. That was kind of odd. But it's also in an area that has had some activity, more activity here recently. So I took it upon myself to investigate. And what I did was I took my DJI Mavic Mini 3. I think that's the drone I got. And I just fired that joker up. Now, I will say that I was extremely impressed with the flight time. Let me just step back. The setup time, the flight time, and the quality of the footage captured in 4K, which allowed me to surveil the area without having to leave the comfort of my apartment. The flight was successful, no issues. It did get a little windy, but nothing crazy. And I've got all this footage that I'm going to share with you guys. If you want to see it, I'll put it on Patreon so you guys can see it. And there was a lot of police activity. There's a lot of ambulance and a lot of fire rescue. It looked like a manhunt. It looked like a search. Quite possibly some of these challenges that this insane cost of living crisis, this liquidity crisis, this insolvency nightmare is causing people to be pushed over the edge and get desperate, take risks, do things that they normally wouldn't do. Prices are high. Inflation is up there. Everything that has increased in price and continues to increase in price doesn't fall under the CPI report. So they'll manipulate the numbers to say inflation's under control or getting better under control, but in all actuality, it's not. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their homes. People are being evicted. They're foreclosed on. And they're almost getting to the point of which they're being backed into a corner with no real way out. Which I think is, again, something that I discussed with you guys last July. I remember it vividly. Last July, that there will be huge impacts to the mental health of those who are falling as a result of what has been pretty much warming up and now about to boil over. And those, unfortunately, higher up have the furthest fall and may suffer the most damage. And if they don't have anybody to talk to, or even, if they don't know how to talk and communicate or no one to listen to, then things could get ugly. The money's drying up in a variety of different ways and places, and it's going to make things a whole lot more challenging for a whole lot more people for probably a long time. Which is why it's so important to have a plan and a strategy and take action. But I do think that eventually, if you do all the right things, we're going to see another shift, another change in the cycle. I'm not telling you to start a YouTube channel. I'm not telling you to create content. I'm not telling you to start a business. I'm not telling you to invest. I'm not telling you to do any of that. But what I am telling you is, in my opinion, I think we are getting close to rapidly accelerating towards the bottom. But the good thing is, once we hit the bottom, then we're closer to the point of which we can then start climbing back up again. 100% honest, full transparency, the bottom is going to destroy and wipe out many. Hopefully it's not you. But either way, we continue on throughout the day. We ended up going to Destin Food Hall for Burger Day. That was interesting. That was a good burger. It was a good burger. Philip and Jess, they do a great job. I wasn't super impressed with the rest of the facility, or mainly the bar area. I'll just say the bar area was a huge letdown. And there seems to be a huge miss when it comes to customer service and attentiveness, and quite possibly the thought process behind no longer having to work to earn your tips. They'll just be pretty much standard and built into the price. I've got a problem with that. But I've got a solution for that. I don't have to go out and be a patron, a customer, a consumer. I don't have to stimulate their economy if I don't want to, if I choose not to. And in a service-based industry, you got to be on your game. It's hard to get second chances. Sometimes you can, but they cost you. But unfortunately, it's all teamwork. So if one component, one part of the team kind of drops the ball, it could hurt everybody else. But we finished eating there, and then we came back, and I had this flashing light on my dash telling me I needed oil. So I got an oil change in December, I believe. I think it was December. It might have been December. Maybe January, but I got an oil change. And it wouldn't be a Porsche if it didn't burn oil, right? But either way, a few months later, the light comes on, and I had to go get a quart of 0W40. That's the Mobile One synthetic for European, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Porsche, Lamborghini, Audi, whatever, BMW. And that joker was like $11.99 for a quart of oil. Crazy. But I told Michelle, I said, look, the nature of this beast and the way in which I drive it and put my whole foot in, I got a hairy foot. Not only do I burn through gas, but I burn through oil too. So I'll probably go through another quart before the oil change, but you know, you got to pay to play, I guess. It's par for the course. Some engines actually burn oil by design. Higher revving engines and, some performance engines burn oil by design. And this one's still under warranty, so that's a plus. Porsche certified pre-owned warranty. And they told me, my service advisor told me, and the service manager said to hit them up before it expires, and they're going to get me another warranty that'll cover me for like another 4 or 6 years. I can't remember. Because when this joker needs service or maintenance, repair, it's expensive. It's a lot of damn money. I've known people who've owned Porsches outside of warranty, but I've also known the same people to let problems persist because they're like, I'm not paying that much to fix that. So be warned. But at the same time, it's kind of like, all right, you buy a brand new one, you ain't got to worry about it, so to speak, because it's under warranty. But you pay through the nose for it. Car prices should be coming down soon. Some car prices should be coming down soon. We're seeing some real estate prices coming down in certain areas, certain markets. But I don't think it's because of the Fed and, their, continuous increase to interest rates. I just think it's because people don't have the money. They don't have the discretionary income to spend, and perhaps maybe have even listened to the warning signs that have been shared with them by many, many different people, including Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon. He said, look, don't buy anything. His company is built, multi-billion-dollar company is built on selling you stuff, tells you don't buy anything. That should be a huge warning sign, an alert, and red flag. But as I said, there's going to be a shift. There's going to be a change. And with that, I want to talk to the YouTubers out there. I want to talk to the content creators. But mostly, I want to talk to YouTubers, because YouTube is in the middle of this change. YouTube is the epicenter of social media, online advertising, and connecting. And I also think that it has a lot to do with the lack of time and ability for people to spend watching content on YouTube in comparison to 2020, 2021. Some folks were actually joining us today on the Patreon members live chat, interactive live chat. We had our camera and mic going. They had their cameras and mics going if they chose to. Some chose not to, and they just ran the mic. But they were all working. They were working while they were on the live chat with us, and we're still working remotely. And so that's a plus, because at least maybe these unemployment numbers that they're talking about are actually somewhat true. And these opportunities exist to work from home. But I think that this has a little bit to do with maybe viewership, especially if you're a creator and you're noticing you're not getting the reach, you're not getting the impressions, despite your click-through rate, despite your average retention, despite your relative and absolute retention and engagement, which YouTube told me about 2 days ago. Despite all of the metrics and marks that you hit that technically would equal, a recipe for a successful video, I don't think the people are there. As well as the advertisers have changed. And if you haven't diversified your monetization strategy for your content and are experiencing a decline in viewership, then what have you been doing? I actually had a talk this morning with, as a consultation before the live chat, before the Patreon members live chat. I had a consultation with a client, and he has expanded and diversified and multiplied his income streams from his diving board, so to speak. Like YouTube is like the diving board, like the platform to get everything else going. And he got his started yesterday, and he already told me that he's already converted at least 10 today, and that was hours ago, before the day was even over. And he has made more money in converting in his diverse monetization strategies than he has made on YouTube in revenue from views. So it's like, if you're going to lose views from viewers, then you got to make up the money somewhere. But in reality, you want everything firing on all cylinders, and it's not possible if you don't have it all set up. And this is what I'm talking about. Getting everything set up and ready to go so that when this recovery begins, you are primed. Your pump is primed and you are ready to rock and roll, okay? You're ready to knock it out, okay? You're ready to, cash those checks, see those deposits, watch your bank account balances increase, see success, growth, expansion. That's where it's at. So, if you want to know more about that, then by all means, hit me up, let me know. I can walk you guys through it. And the beauty of it is despite YouTube slashing subscriber counts and viewer watch hours required for applying for the partner program for monetization and AdSense, you can have your content monetized from day one if you do it the right way, and you can be receiving payment through a variety of channels before YouTube ever starts paying you. We got a channel monetized 2 days ago after only putting up 4 videos, but we've seen this time and time again because we've done this a lot. And that channel technically was monetized like 2 days ago. It met the criteria, but the YouTube revenue counter is always lagging. So it takes like 2 or 3 days for it to catch up before you can apply. But it only took 4 videos. And it was an interesting dynamic as to how that was accomplished. And it will be a strategy that we're going to deploy again and again and again to further diversify our business models and content delivery and structure. Which someone asked me on the live chat today, about their YouTube channel, getting it started, getting it going, getting it growing, getting to the point of which it can make money. And these are just parts of the conversations that we have, like on this little Q&A, AMA, Ask Me Anything, question and answer. We're an open book. It was a lot of fun. It was exciting. I think we probably spent way too much time on there, but it flowed, and I don't think it was rushed, and I don't think it was extended longer than it really needed to be, and it just worked. So that was cool. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to doing it again. And I know that the next time we do it, we're going to have even more people present because more people have signed up since then. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But like I told you guys, there's some warning signs. There are alerts. There are some key indicating factors and signals that are really getting me excited for what's to come, but also getting me kind of, prepared to fend off what is about to happen here in just, a matter of days or weeks or months. And again, like I said, this multi-trillion-dollar loss from these banks and this commercial and corporate real estate mortgage default crisis is alarming, because I know that this is going to be the beginning of, the next lit fuse on the dynamite that is going to be thrown our way. Brace yourself, prepare yourself for, the onslaught of updates and announcements and, headlines and videos about this new banking crisis and liquidity concerns, as well as this CBDC nightmare and, changes to cryptocurrency, central bank digital currency. Fed now kicking off in July. We got a lot ahead of us, okay? Like the guy with the high beams on in front of me. We got a lot ahead of us. But we've also got a lot behind us, and we made it this far. But you got to think, how did we make it this far? We were paying attention. We were working together. We were diligent. We were smart. We were being better informed and educated. And despite YouTube and, its restrictive nature and suppression and shadowing and censorship, I think we can still continue that, but quite possibly more so off the platform than on the platform. YouTube will continue to roll out new changes and updates, which will probably do more harm than good, but maybe eventually they'll come around. I think that YouTube is very confused. I think that they're trying to do more than they really should. I think they're trying to please everybody. I think they're trying to be something that they're really not, to recapture what they've lost, which is 3 consecutive quarters of a decline in revenues from advertisers. But it's a business, okay? It's all a business, and you got to look at it like that. Whether you're a creator and whether you're a viewer, it is a business, okay? Now, granted, there are some businesses out there that are nonprofit organizations, so they're not necessarily going out there trying to make a killing. But that was weird. This woman walks out of the gas station, and she looked, I'm not going to say how she looked, but she looked like I don't know where she's going to sleep tonight. I'll just put it that way. And she walks out and she pulls on a door handle to a car that's parked here that I don't think is hers. It was locked. And then she walks away. Like I said, folks, things are getting a little nutty. They're getting a little crazy out here. It's, what I told you guys at the end of last year, more of the same. But with that being said, making sure that we're ready and prepared, diversity, security, cash flow, these are going to be the 3 pillars that are going to make. If you've got those, if you got diversity, security, and cash flow, if you've been working on the 5 principles of making more money, spending less than you make, which is not easy to do, obviously with prices continuously climbing, but having a budget, eliminating debt, saving and investing, you are going to be fine financially. Now, I will make another video that will break down how having wealth and a lot of money or making a lot of money won't necessarily change much in terms of enjoyment and joy and happiness and content and satisfaction. But I will say that it will make it easier to pay bills and, survive day to day. But I just don't want anybody to get that twisted, okay? But either way, it's time for me to go because we're going to wake up pretty early in the morning. I got to make sure I got all my stuff together. I got all my camera gear because I want to be able to capture as much as possible from Mexico, from Cozumel, from the cruise ship, from all that we're going to experience here in the next few days. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I want you guys to see it as well. I want to bring you guys along with us. It may be on this channel, but it may be on the other channels. They're linked in the description down below, some of which will be on Patreon. And again, Patreon, if you want someone to talk to, come on over. If you got anything in particular you want to talk about, let us know. If you want to know how to get started with side hustles and making money online and building a brand and starting a YouTube channel or starting a business or whatever it may be, we are there for you. I don't think I have too many scams and spam and the bots in the comments anymore. I think YouTube's actually done a pretty good job of managing that. So I'll give them a hand on that one. But again, remember, I will never reach out to you and try to invest money for you. And if you want to have access to me, if you want to meet me, my wife, Michelle, Squirrel Tribe, come on over. Links in the description. That's the easiest and best way to find us. Just, you guys be careful, okay? I want you guys to be careful. I want you to be safe. I want you to be well. I want you guys to have a great evening, depending on when you're watching this. A great night, great morning, great day, great afternoon. And I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Bye.